this? What's the procedure? What do we do, people?
Stay alive, I'm getting help!
So, what have we learned?
Although Dwight had good intentions, putting his fellow coworkers in danger is clearly not the way to test their fire safety knowledge. Let's talk about how 1403 strives to create a safer, less chaotic environment than Dunder Mifflin. In this video, we'll go over the procedures for preventing a fire, what to do when you're faced with a fire, and how to operate the appropriate fire extinguisher. Let's go head over to the high school.
The best way to prevent a fire is to stop it before it starts. Here are some prevention tips. Number 1. Do not plug power strips into each other. This is known as daisy chaining. Doing so will drag excessive power away from the power outlet, which is a fire hazard.
And the product can't make it.
Number 2. Practice great care, especially when working with heat-generating objects, such as a soldering iron and heat gun. All members should know which items are flammable and should handle them with care. Number 3. Be aware of your surroundings. Note the location of the fire extinguisher and exit in the room. Have an established evacuation route and keep workspaces and aisles clear.
When facing a fire, the most crucial decisions you would have to make is to either fight it or flee from it. Ask yourselves the following questions. Is the fire larger than half the size of the car's interior? Is the environment too smoky, making it difficult to breathe? Is the fire not visible or accessible to extinguish? And are the flames taller than your head? If you answer yes to any of these questions, then evacuate the area immediately. Then follow an emergency procedure plan. Ring the fire alarm, notify an adult, call 911, and evacuate the building in an orderly fashion. In case you are fighting a fire, then all team members would have to know how to use a fire extinguisher. Firstly, make sure to check the labels so you're using the correct type of fire extinguisher. Class A fire extinguishers fight solid fuel fires like wood. Class B fire extinguishers fight chemical fires like flammable solvents. Class C fire extinguishers fight electrical fires. We recommend that you use a fire extinguisher that fights all 3 types of fires, and it is essential that each team member knows how to operate a fire extinguisher as well.
Fire extinguishers should always be mounted so they are easily accessible and visible. Unmounted ones can fall over and turn into hazardous projectiles. You wouldn't want a fire extinguisher flying at you, would you? In order to successfully operate a fire extinguisher during a fire, you'll need to follow the past procedure. P is to pull the pin, A is to aim the nozzle standing 10 to 15 feet away, S is to squeeze the trigger, and the second S is to sweep in a side-to-side motion.
So remember, if you ever encounter a situation where you're faced with a fire, you must decide to fight or flee. You're not trained firefighters, so don't try to fight a fire when it is safer to just leave the building. Getting everyone to safety is our #1 priority. Remember the PASS acronym and emergency evacuation procedures. If you do this successfully, then everyone will be A-OK.